Hey everybody, about this time last year I had a request for an eggnog recipe. I just flat didn't have time to do it. I've been kind of researching eggnog recipes all year. I've never actually made it, so we're back to that experimenting thing. I've gone to the traditional recipes and everything, but I really don't want to do it that way just because I don't want to do it that way. A couple of things with the traditional way, they use raw eggs and they use egg white, using the raw egg white. And a lot of people are sensitive to raw eggs. Also, the traditional recipes, they use a lot of alcohol. I mean, a lot. And then they let it sit in the refrigerator for a week, which, I mean, if you're using raw egg and you're putting that much alcohol in there, the raw egg issue is really not going to be a big deal because essentially it's going to be pasteurized with the alcohol. But I don't even like alcohol in my eggnog. I just like straight eggnog. If I want a glass of bourbon or rum, I'll drink that on the side. And so anyway, let's get started with my version of eggnog. I'm going to put 6 cups of milk in here. I'm using 2%. You can use whatever milk you want. I mean, traditionally it would have been whole milk. I've got 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. And then I've got 1/4 teaspoon of ground clove. If you have the whole cloves, like from your holiday ham, just throw a couple of those in there. It'll be fine. Don't worry. Don't get excited. I've got 2 vanilla bean pods. I'm just going to cut these open. Not being cooperative, or I would scrape them. But anyway. These are not very good quality. These are the kind of ones I bought at the grocery store. Anyway, throw that in there. Now we're going to turn our cooktop on. And I'm going to go to the heating function. And I'm just going to bring this up until it starts to get warm. All I'm doing right now is heating the milk. As our milk's heating up, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get our eggs ready. I have 1 dozen egg yolks. I took the whites and I set them aside. I'm going to use them for making an omelet in the morning or something. I have 1/2 cup of raw sugar. Traditionally, it would have a ton of white sugar, but I don't want to put that much sugar. So I'm going to use the raw sugar. I think it would give a nice little flavor to it. And we're just going to mix this in. Now that I have my sugar beat up into my eggs, I'm going to take a nutmeg. This is the nut from the nutmeg tree, and I'm going to grate it into our milk. I'm probably going to put about half of this in there. If you don't have the whole nutmeg, you can use the ground stuff. It's just not as fresh. This stuff here, whenever you're grinding it, and it really perfumes the room. Okay, our milk is just starting to steam a little bit. So what we're going to do, we're going to take some of this milk. Let me turn this down. That's the minus number, not the plus number. Now, at the same time I'm whisking this, I want to take some of this warm milk and I want to whisk it in nice and slow to temper my eggs. But I don't really want to spray it all over the counter either. But I'm pretty good at doing that. Because if you just take and dump the egg in, you'll make scrambled eggs. And we don't want to do that. Not yet anyway. Okay, now that we've got our eggs tempered a little bit, we're going to start whisking our egg mixture into the milk. Now, I have a thermometer. We're going to set this in here. And we're going to raise the temperature of this mixture to 160 degrees F. Alright, so we're at 160 degrees F. So we're going to turn this off. We're going to take this off the heat. And what we're going to do is we're going to put this in the refrigerator and we're going to chill it down. We're going to sit out here and chill down first. Our eggnog mixture is cooled down. We're going to strain it. That'll get rid of any strings of egg yolk or anything like that, and also to catch our vanilla pod. Now traditionally you would whip egg whites and make a foam with that, but I'm going to use 1 pint of cream. So what we're going to do, we're going to whip this up. Now I'm not going to make the peaks with it. This is real soft, but that's what I'm going to use right here. So now I'm going to take about half of this. We're going to mix this in. I'm going to save a little bit, use a little more than half. And we're going to save some of this for garnishing on top of our glasses. This. We're just going to whisk this in. Whisk it in. This will help make it nice and thick. There we go. Now it's time to serve. Like I said at the start of the video, normally I would drink my alcohol on the side and have my eggnog without alcohol. But since traditionally it is an alcoholic drink, we're going to put a little bit of bourbon in here. We're not going to get carried away. My wife would get mad. Anyway, so now we're going to put some of our eggnog in here. On top of our glass, we're going to put a little bit of our whipped cream. We're going to garnish this with nutmeg right on the top, just like that. That way, whenever you go to take a drink, you'll smell nutmeg and not bourbon. So anyway, time for a taste test. So, okay, the question is, how does our eggnog taste? I mean, I don't know. It smells good. It's definitely not as sweet as the stuff you buy in the store. Anyway, which I don't think is a bad thing, but it's definitely good. I like this. I might start putting a little bourbon in my eggnog if it tasted like this all the time.